What is up, my optimistic army? My YouTube account makes the introduction unnecessary, yet I'll delight you with one anyway. I'm Christian Maracle. Okay, now you know who I am. And now it's time for another Maracle's Top 10. And this time, it's my top 10 favorite Survivor Series matches. As WWE Survivor Series is coming up this Sunday on the WWE Network, special start time 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 Pacific. I'm doing stupid promotions because that's what I do. Alright, well, I'm going to be quick throughout this video because, well, I had so little time just to make this video because I'm so busy. So let's get right into it. Number 10 on my list of my top 10 favorite Survivor Series matches is from Survivor Series 2009, Team Miz versus Team Morrison. Now this was the start of the 2009 Survivor Series show, and it kicked off really good. 2009 was a really good Survivor Series in my opinion because they had 3 Survivor Series matches, though one of them maybe a couple of them kind of felt a little rushed, but it was a good show. The opening match was one of my favorites, and the way like the Miz and his team had dominated into victory, especially with the at the time upstarts Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. The Survivor Series, that was a good showing by Team Miz on Team Morrison. Number 9, Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk at Survivor Series 2011. Now this was for the WWE Championship, and this was the start of CM Punk's 434-day reign. At this very same night, The Rock returned in-ring action as he teamed with John Cena to take on Miz and R-Truth. But to me, the best match was the WWE title match between CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. Those two really had a great back-and-forth match. It was fun to watch, and especially the ending, that was really cool, like the Anaconda Vice right for the victory, and I would never think that CM Punk would hold on to that title for over a year from that point on. Number 8 on my list, Team Hogan versus Team Andre at the first ever Survivor Series in 1987. Now, of course, at the time in 1987, everybody was hooked on the feud between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, and I mean, of course, it sold out like Pontiac Silverdome at WrestleMania 3. Everybody wanted to see that. I bet I wasn't alive, obviously, in 1987, but I look back on that match. And while their match at WrestleMania 3 was not exactly one of my favorites, the match they had at Survivor Series with Team Andre versus Team Hogan was really awesome. It was a good way to kick off what would become a 30-plus year pay-per-view extravaganza. Number 7, Batista versus The Undertaker at Survivor Series 2007 inside Hell in a Cell. Now this one was a really cool Hell in a Cell match. God, the back and forth action and quite the gruesome content that Batista and The Undertaker performed, especially like a tombstone on the stairs. I'm like, whoa. Of course it ends with Edge costing The Undertaker the championship and giving Batista the victory, but still, it was like a match between those two legends. It was always fun to watch. Number 6. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series 1992, not 1997, if you thought that's what it was going to be. Because their match in 1997 sucked. Not just because of this Montreal Screwjob, but because like the match itself was pretty flat. But their match in 1992, however, yeah, they shockingly faced off more than once in Survivor Series. Their match in 1992 was awesome. It was great, and it was like a classic encounter with those two. It was Bret Hart's first WWF title defense. It's amazing how they had quite the rivalry that lasted for so many years, and then went on for like an Iron Man match at WrestleMania, but of course, you know, culminated in quite the screwy fashion. But their match in 1992 is still something to look back on. It's you guys should go watch it on the network. It's fun. Number 5, Bret Hart again versus Diesel in Survivor Series 1995. Now this was a no disqualification match. At the time, they were trying to make Diesel like a top face of the company, and he had matches with Bret many times, and by the Survivor Series, the WWF realized that maybe Diesel was not the guy they were kind of looking for. It still didn't take away the fact that he had a great no disqualification match with Bret the Hitman Hart, and Bret took quite a nasty fall to the Spanish announce table at one point. But like, of course, it's a shame when you're not chosen as the #1 face of the company, or like the baby face, but Diesel for you guys. That's just kind of how it worked. Number 4, Team Raw versus Team Smackdown at Survivor Series last year in 2016. Now the reason I've chosen this one is not because I was there. I was actually, in 2016, I attended my first ever Survivor Series in Toronto. The men's match was awesome. It went on for like over 50 minutes. It was great back and forth action between both teams. I didn't even know it was lasting that long because I was having such a great time. It was such a good thing to witness, and it was awesome. That's basically all I can say. It was awesome. Team Smackdown got the victory when the Wyatt family got the final pin on Roman Reigns, but hell, remaining 52 minutes of it, it's always fun to watch. Number 3, Team WWE versus the Alliance from ECW and WCW. Survivor Series 2001. Like to see the WWE go up against not just one company but another at the same time. ECW and WCW. WCW, ironically, and ECW also ironically gets into the hands of the WWE as the time went on. Of course, actually, I gotta correct myself. It was Team WWF at the time. The match they had at Survivor Series 2001 was holy shit so good. Which I'm not surprised it's in my top 3 here in my favorite Survivor Series matches that I've ever watched. It was one of the very few occasions where I actually did watch the matches live. 2001, how old was I? Like 5, I think? And yet I got to see that. Of course, maybe as a child I didn't really understand much of Monday Night Wars, but it was still like a cool match to see, especially when you're a kid. Number 2, Team Cena versus Team Authority at Survivor Series 2014. Now this was another awesome Survivor Series match where the Authority's placement was on the line. There was a lot of things that went down on that, whether it was countouts to sudden victories, to betrayals, to like 3-on-1 assaults, to Dolph Ziggler's amazing strength, and of course the the debut of Sting. That was a kick-ass match. I still look back on that and I'm still like, oh, that is so awesome. That's still great. It's like, that's almost all I can say about the matches that I liked. Is they were great. They were awesome. What better way to describe them? And number 1, my number 1 all-time favorite Survivor Series match was the first ever Elimination Chamber match in Survivor Series 2002. As Shawn Michaels took on Triple H, Chris Jericho, Kane, Rob Van Dam, and Booker T. And now when the Elimination Chamber first came in, of course it kind of felt some people felt it was a little similar to the War Games match that WCW had created, and that's kind of ironic because we have a War Games match coming up this Saturday for NXT. To see the first ever Elimination Chamber match, Shawn Michaels winning the World Heavyweight Championship after being gone for 4 years with a back injury, that honestly was perfect. That was perfect in my view. But yeah, that's my favorite and all-time Survivor Series match. And ladies and gentlemen, that was my picks for the top 10 favorite Survivor Series matches. Now, you did not see photos like I did for that one time for TLC matches. And the reason for that is because I didn't have that much time just to make this video, and I had to be quick. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to do more top 10 videos with you guys. But for now, be optimistic, show your optimism, and think optimistically. I'm Christian Maracle, voice of Cinema Since 2 Expansion, and leader of the Optimistic Army. You guys are the Optimistic Army, the best fans in the world. See you guys in the next video. Oh, and before I go, I fixed the sin counter. I mean, it died, yeah. Survivor Series 1997 killed it. I managed to save it. Took me a long-ass time, but I saved it. So, we're good for tomorrow. We're good. We're good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to do some tinkering on it and make sure it doesn't get destroyed again.